Thank you, and thank you all for being here today. So I am here today to talk about what my family and I lovingly refer to as life at the Rondon. And they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so I brought along a few pictures to help me today. Before we talk about where we're at now, I thought it would be helpful to give you a picture of where we were at before. This is a picture of my family. That's myself, my husband Matt, and our son Damon. That was taken August of this past year on our way driving back from a family vacation on the Oregon coast. We had recently relocated to the Tri-Cities, Pasco, Washington. My husband got out of the Marine Corps, and we wanted to move close to family to raise our son near our family. We just bought a house. We both had really good jobs. We were settling into life. We had no concerns about our health, no concerns about our finances, or where we would lay our head at night. We were just living our lives happy and carefree. In fact, the weekend before, we took Damon to get his very first ever haircut. As you can see, he had quite the head of hair, and I really had to fight Dad to let me give him a haircut, but it was long overdue. Aside from a couple of ear infections back to back and a bout with croup, he was a very healthy baby. We never thought that there was anything wrong with him. And then this was Saturday, so the next day on Sunday at church, he seemed really tired, didn't want to walk, didn't want to eat, which we thought maybe the antibiotics just needed to kick in, run its course, help him. So I took him to daycare Monday morning and told her I would call to check in. I called at about 10 o'clock, and something in his cry triggered my mommy intuition, and I said, I'm coming to get him. I took him to the urgent care. Oh, sorry, I got ahead of myself because I'm not paying attention to my slides. So, rewind. That Sunday night that I was talking about before everything happened, we actually bought our tickets to go back to Hawaii. This is a picture of us in Hawaii. We went there for Damon's first birthday in June, and we had planned to spend Christmas there with my family who all live in Hawaii. That little blurb up there, vacation approved, tickets bought, Christmas in Hawaii, here we come, was my last Facebook post before everything changed. So like I said, dropped him off at daycare. I knew something was wrong. Took him to urgent care. They immediately sent us to the ER, and the ER doc came in and asked us to sit down because he had some not so good news. He told us that he was 99% sure that our son had leukemia, and he was care flighting us to Spokane. Time stood still. We just sat there staring at him, trying to process what he was saying, and before we knew it, they were sending us on a MedStar helicopter. They sent myself and Damon on the helicopter, and all we had were the clothes on our backs and a little backpack of his that had some diapers and some wipes. When we got to Spokane, it was a whirlwind of doctors coming in, signing consents, medical evaluations, and I just sat there waiting for somebody to tell me that they were wrong, that he just needed some IV fluids and some antibiotics, and it would send us on our way. That never happened. The next morning, on Tuesday, November 5th, his diagnosis was confirmed. He was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and we started chemotherapy the very next morning. That picture there is the morning that he was diagnosed. When the dust settled, we realized that we were going to be in Spokane for quite some time, and we had no idea where we would stay or what we would do. I vaguely remembered the Ronald McDonald house because we had had some friends in Nevada who had a daughter born with a heart defect, and they spent some time there and raved about how fantastic and helpful the house was. So I asked our social worker. Thankfully, she was ahead of me, and she had already had us on the wait list for some time. Unfortunately, we were still number 6 on the wait list when we first got discharged. This is a picture of us, our very first night out of the hospital in a teeny tiny little hotel room. I can't tell you how frightening it is to have a medically fragile child who needs multiple medications. He had a special diet because he also got diabetes induced by some of the chemotherapy he was on, and just the germs and not knowing where you are and being confined to a teeny tiny little space with a toddler is not fun for those of you who have toddlers. But thankfully, we didn't wait very long. I had never been so happy to receive a phone call than when we got the call from the house that they had a room ready for us. And we were so grateful. We went there for our tour, and I was so impressed with how big the house was. Naively, I guess I expected like a 3-bedroom house where we'd be lucky if we had a room to ourselves and we would share a bathroom and share the kitchen. It is anything but that. Instead, what we found was an amazing space that provided a home away from home with all the amenities. How many of you have been to the Ronald McDonald House here in Spokane? Okay, so some. If you've never been there, I would highly recommend that you go and visit the house. You can't truly understand the impact that the house has on the families there until you see it firsthand for yourself. For us, the impact has been immeasurable, but I'm going to try to explain it to you. It's been 83 days now since Damon has been diagnosed, and we've spent a majority of that time at the Ronald McDonald House. The house provided us with the opportunity to have family come and stay with us throughout the holidays. There, the picture on the left, you see us having a family tradition of making Christmas cookies, and it allowed us to keep that tradition. We're there in the kitchen at the house, my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and my husband, and my father-in-law in the background. Smokey the Bear also came to visit us while we were at the house and gave presents to all the kids, and I was amazed that Damon wanted to go up and shake his hand and was giving him high fives. It was really cute, and it was a great moment for him. We also had a Christmas that, I'm telling you what, is going to be hard to top for probably the rest of Damon's life. He had so many wonderful gifts provided by the house. I'm talking like baskets of Christmas presents. I keep joking that we're going to need a U-Haul to go back home, but I'm really not joking. We're really going to need a U-Haul to go back home. And it also allows our friends who live in the Tri-Cities and surrounding areas to come by and visit us. Here you see Damon hanging out and playing with some of his friends, and it just really lifts his spirits and makes him so happy. And there's a ton of space for the kids to play. They're in that bottom picture, they're downstairs in the SpongeBob room, and it's just a huge play area that the kids can have free reign and parents can sit on the couch and supervise. So it's really awesome. Damon also got to have his godmom who lives in Hawaii. She came down to visit us, and I put a video here so you can see. This is in our room at the Ronald McDonald House. Well, he gets his moves from his mama, just saying. The house also provides us with making connections with other families who are in the fight with us and know our struggles and understand what we're going through. They just get it. And these people I no longer consider friends. I consider my extended family. We rejoice with each other in victories, and we support each other in the hard times. I know that these connections will last long after we leave the Rondon, and I'm so thankful that I met these people and that our paths were able to cross during our stay there. On January 13th, we got to celebrate our biggest victory since we started this journey. Our son was cancer-free. And this picture is a picture of our remission celebration that we had there in the kitchen at the Ronald McDonald House, surrounded by our new friends/family. And it was by far the most exciting day that we've had in a really, really long time. Now, I have seen those Ronald McDonald collection buckets a number of times, and I might have thrown in some change in it from time to time, but I never really understood where that money goes or even what the Ronald McDonald House was. Now, having experienced the generosity that extends well past the amenities and to the loving and caring staff who truly are invested in the people that stay there and want to know you and help you, I will never look at those collection boxes the same way. And I hope that sharing our story today inspires you to do the same. Thank you very much for your time.